Quarantine or isolate. When it comes to battling COVID-19, there is a difference between those two terms. And coming up, we'll discuss which you should do if you test positive for COVID or come into contact with someone who has. Identity theft. It's happened to you, or you probably know someone who's been a victim. And during the pandemic, it's been on the rise. What you can do to keep your information safe and away from thieves. Next.
Another unseasonably cool day in the books. We will warm up a little bit in advance of our next cold front. I'll be back in a bit to talk about that and how temperatures respond. The News at 5 starts right now.
At First at 5, more money and accountability at the heart of a new union contract for San Antonio police officers and Bexar County deputies. The big difference between the two? The county is moving closer to a new union contract. Friday, the union ratified a new agreement.
So now Commissioner's Court just needs to give the final send-off here. The contract includes a pay raise and some big changes to the disciplinary process. So the contract changes how fired or disciplined deputies can appeal their case, whereas they can currently make their case to an outside arbitrator. All appeals will now go through an enhanced civil service commission. That commission is going to be made up of 7 members appointed by commissioners, the county judge, the DA, and the sheriff. The contract also creates a brand new Citizen Advisory Action Board, or CAB, which will help review complaints and recommend discipline. Now, the final decision on disciplinary matters, however, that is still up to Sheriff Javier Salazar. San Antonio Police have a similar board, but this is really a first for the sheriff's office. Salazar said that it's also going to review use of forces cases, and he said that the board will not take up every complaint.
They're going to basically hear cases that I have the ability to refer a case to them. The complainant in a case has the ability to ask the Citizens Advisory Board to look into it, or the respondent deputy.
The sheriff says the new contract removes the requirement for new hires to work for 2 years at the jail. They can apply to the law enforcement side at any point after they have their peace officer license. The contract lasts through September 30th, 2025. You can read more about it at KSAT.com. $350,000 worth of meth taken off the streets over the weekend, and this man, 32-year-old Christian Lasso Galindo, taken into custody. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office shared his picture on Facebook, saying they, along with the DEA and SAPD, found the drugs and Galindo in a McDonald's parking lot yesterday in Converse. They said the drugs were inside a cardboard box in Galindo's car. He now faces federal charges.
A 35-year-old woman is now facing animal cruelty charges. We want to show you Christy Lee Arredondo. You're about to see a picture of her soon. Police arrested her this morning at a northeast side home after she was caught with 2 ring-tailed lemurs. Authorities
first learned about the exotic animals via a social media post by Arredondo. They traced the video back to her, went to her house. They found one of those lemurs dead, the other one alive, and was taken out of that home.
By thieves, got their stuff back.
It doesn't happen often.
No, not at all. Now, San Antonio police say that thieves stole from an oil industry business this weekend. They took 4 trucks, a van, and tools from Calfrac Well Services. And then when workers showed up today, they noticed everything was gone. So they called police, who used GPS to track down some of those goods that were stolen. And that technology led them to La Quinta Inn off of I-35 in Rittiman. And that's where they found one suspect who was still dressed in a Calfrac uniform inside one of those stolen vans that we told you about. Here's the thing, though. Investigators say that 2 other people were involved, and right now they're looking for them.
The San Antonio firefighters trying to figure out how a home caught fire this afternoon. This is the 500 block of Arbor Place, north of downtown. They say the house is vacant and no one was hurt. A neighboring business did sustain a little damage, though. More than 7,000 new COVID cases reported today by Metro Health, and 3 more deaths to account for in Bexar County. The 7-day average at 5,500.
Now, there are 1,257 COVID positive patients in the hospital. 266 are in the ICU and 123 are on ventilators.
Metro Health has been seeing an increase in questions about what's the difference between isolation and quarantine. The difference is A positive COVID test. That's according to CDC guidelines. If you have a positive test, you must isolate by staying away from others for at least 5 days and until your symptoms stop. Then you can follow the quarantine guidelines. That applies to those who have either been exposed or think they have COVID without taking a test. They are to quarantine for 5 days, after which you're allowed to leave, but encouraged to wear a mask.
But it doesn't apply if you're more sick than that. It doesn't apply if you've had a fever in the last 24 hours. It doesn't apply if you're immune suppressed.
If your symptoms continue, you continue to quarantine until they go away. Dr. Wu says, Dr. Wu goes on to say, if you're waiting for your test results still, you have mild to no symptoms, follow the quarantine guidelines. It is that time of the year. Tax season is upon us, and the IRS is now accepting tax returns.
I'm sure people are thinking, what, already? Yeah, it's upon us. Now, this year, there's a lot more to be accounted for. We're talking stimulus checks and also advanced child tax credits. Yeah,
if you received either of these, the IRS is sending letters over the details of those payments, but you can also check for yourself at irs.gov.
So here's the other thing we need to consider. The IRS is also dealing with staff shortages and a lack of funding. So to avoid delays, it's asking people to file electronically and to request a direct deposit for a refund. Now, if you do that and you don't have any issues with your tax return, you should get your funds back within 21 days. So the deadline here is April 18th. And again, if you want more information, just visit irs.gov.
We're going to talk more about taxes coming up at 6, including how you can maybe get them done for free. But next tax season could get even trickier for some of us. If you get paid for goods and services using Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal, a new tax rule takes effect this year. It's going to impact your 2022 tax return. It requires the app providers issue a 1099-K form to users who make more than $600 through business transactions during the year. This includes any payment for a good or service, even tips. The goal is meant to make it harder for people to evade paying taxes owed. Again, this does not impact your filing this year, but it will come next year in 2023.
This is really an awful feeling. Chances are that either you or someone you know has dealt with identity fraud. The Better Business Bureau says that since the pandemic, that crime has been on the rise. But here's the good news. You can keep your information safe from thieves.
I had filled out a job application and the company got breached.
That's Armando Celedon describing how his identity was stolen. Whoever did it opened credit cards in Armando's name and went on a major shopping spree.
They were like in a mortgage process in California with my social security number.
Unfortunately, Armando's not alone.
We do see about 7% of households end up being a victim, losing money, losing their personal information.
The Better Business Bureau says credit and identity theft are up. Last year, more than 38,000 Texans fell victim to credit or identity theft. That's up from 18,000 victims in 2018. Why the jump? Jason Meza, regional director of the BBB, points to the pandemic.
Our reliance on, we're distanced during the pandemic for sure. We're doing a lot of transfers with cash apps and digital wallets.
Jason says seniors and 18 to 24-year-olds are the most vulnerable, with the younger group suffering the most losses.
The senior consumer guards their information, asks more questions, presses for details, but our younger consumers are more apt to share information via cash apps, buying things, transferring things.
Okay, so we need to be more careful with our information online. So how do we do that?
Be cautious when you interact with links that are unsolicited. Inbound links should be treated with caution.
Also, keep your software like antivirus apps or programs up to date, and read your credit card bills carefully. If you see bogus charges, call your credit card company.
And if you've already been a victim of identity theft, just visit identitytheft.gov. The site is run by the Federal Trade Commission, and it offers you a recovery plan and offers step-by-step guidance on what to do.
Armando wishes he knew that back then. It took him years to fix his credit. Now he doesn't take any chances because he's finally on track to becoming a homeowner.
I actually do credit monitoring now, and I pay for it on my own.
Yeah, he's certainly learned his lesson. Now, if you think that you might be a victim of identity theft, here's some clues that someone has stolen your information. If you see withdrawals from your bank account that you just can't explain, maybe you find unfamiliar charges on your credit report. Also, medical providers can bill you for services that you didn't use, or especially right now, if the IRS notifies you that more than one tax return was filed in your name, or that you have income from an employer that you didn't work for.
Clouds held tight around town today. They're starting to clear off to the west, and they'll gradually do so through the night, only to be replaced by areas of fog. Let's take a look at our temperatures today. We started off 49 degrees, then we only made it to 53. Not a big temperature spread. And a lot of dampness and low gray clouds, really for nothing to show for it. I mean, we had 2 to 3 hundredths of an inch around San Antonio. That was it. 43 Eagle Pass right now. Temperatures for the most part in the 40s and then 50s. It depends on where you are in terms of temperatures. Anyway, let's talk about the rest of the evening. Will be in the 40s. Fog developing late tonight. And then we do have a few weak cold fronts and another chance of rain to talk about.
All right, Adam, thank you. So we know that tensions are escalating in Europe and Asia as both Russia and China make aggressive moves against neighboring countries. Now, the buildup of Russian troops along the Ukrainian border, coupled with concerns over attempts to destabilize the government in Kiev, has the U.S. and also NATO allies preparing to take on any further Russian aggression.
Yeah, over the weekend, the State Department also recalling all non-essential personnel from the embassy in Ukraine. Meanwhile, Chinese warplanes also crossed into Taiwanese airspace on Sunday and Monday and settling that region. Chris Wynn in Washington with the latest.
Amid mounting fears of a Russian incursion into Ukraine,
even as we continue to prioritize diplomacy and dialogue, we must also increase readiness.
The Biden administration is considering deploying several thousand U.S. troops to Eastern Europe and the Baltics. The potential move meant to deter Russia from invading Ukraine.
The United States has taken steps to heighten the readiness of its forces at home and abroad so that they are prepared to respond to a range of contingencies, including support to the NATO response force if it is activated.
With Russia amassing troops along the Ukrainian border and British intelligence services reporting the Kremlin's possible intentions to install a pro-Russian leader in Kiev, U.S. and NATO allies are taking a firmer stance. The Kremlin called those reports hysteria.
The United States will act firmly in defense of its national interests in response to actions by Russia that harm us, our allies, our partners.
Russia sees NATO's growing support for Ukraine as a threat to its own security.
There are certain basic principles that we're not by one iota going to compromise on, including, for example, NATO's open door, the right of countries to choose with whom they'll associate.
The U.S. military also reacting to another incident overseas after dozens of Chinese warplanes crossed into Taiwan's air defense identification zone Sunday and Monday. China's aggression following a U.S.-Japan show of naval force in the Philippine Sea. In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn.
Are you looking for a new home? Well, the housing market is still booming. Buyers still having a hard time. Up next, we have tips to seal the deal in this sizzling market.
For some type 1 diabetes patients, it is a dream, life without insulin injections. Coming up today on the news at 6, a new stem cell treatment is showing some promise. What a new study found and why researchers are calling this the first step toward a cure for type 1 diabetes in a century. Plus, what happened on Wall Street today? Down more than 1,000 points, yet a last-minute rally before the end of trading.
The phone has not been ringing off the hook with worried investors today.
Okay, so we're going to put this in perspective, talking to the CEO of a brokerage firm about what today's stock market roller coaster signals and what that means for the rest of us on Main Street. That and more coming up in less than an hour at 6 o'clock. We'll see you then.
My 401k wants to know what happened. Thank you, Myra. I'll see you at 6. New at 5, home sales still through the roof. Last month in our area, more than 3,500 homes sold. And while that's down just a bit from 1 year ago, sales are beating pre-pandemic numbers. So are prices. It can be tough for buyers out there. So 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz looks at ways to help you get that house.
When Lisa Gill found a home and a few acres near Austin, she wanted to close the deal fast, so she got creative.
The sellers had 2 aging donkeys on the property, so to sweeten the deal, I told them I would keep them.
The whole process taught her you may have to go above and beyond to get the house.
It's crazy.
Realtor Matt Till says low inventory is stirring high competition.
I submitted one this morning that was up against 26 offers.
The imbalance in supply and demand is driving home prices up. In fact, last month, the median price of homes sold here was $311,000. That's a 19% increase over last year. More and more buyers are bidding above asking price, even paying cash. But if you can't do that, there are other ways to stand out.
Really, you have to be ready to pounce.
Loan pre-approval is essential. And if you can, get all of your financial information vetted in advance and have a firm pledge for a loan. Till says some buyers put down extra earnest money to show they're serious.
Another thing would be just a clean contract.
Meaning don't ask the seller for help with closing costs or nitpicky repairs. He does not advise skipping inspection.
Letters are still a big thing. People are writing letters to try and sway a seller to their side.
If you don't need fast move-in, give the sellers plenty of time to move out.
So offering a lease back for the seller that allows them up to 90 days to stay in the house. Sometimes they're doing it rent-free.
As for Lisa, her deal eventually fell through. So, no donkeys and no house. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
A little dark out there right now. We had a little bit of drizzle and some light showers throughout the day today and just some lingering clouds, but the clearing's just off to the west. We're going to take a look at what's happening out there and how it's affecting temperatures in a moment. But we really didn't have much to show for that moisture today. More moisture tonight, but just in the form of fog. So some fog developing tonight, leading to reduced visibilities on the roads through the morning commute tomorrow. Slight chance of rain in the forecast as a few weak cold fronts greet us throughout this work week. Okay, let's get right to it. You can take a look at the rainfall today. Basically, anywhere you see a color on the map indicates where the Doppler radar has indicated rainfall and where we've had some accumulations. They've just been very minor. About 3/100 of an inch at the international airport in town. Bulverde, 4/100 of an inch. Smiley, nearly 2/10 of an inch. Hallettsville, just over 1/10 of an inch. It was basically down in Victoria where we had the good rain, and then farther to the east of us, closer to Houston and parts of East Texas, where we had more significant showers. I mean, the radar looked pretty good earlier today. It just didn't really translate to a whole lot of accumulations. East Texas, a different story. I mean, under an inch, but still helpful, beneficial rain. And that's moving through Louisiana and some of it out into the Gulf coastline. And of course, we'll take whatever we can get. This upper level disturbance had most of its energy and moisture just east of us. We had a little bit of dampness around here, but not enough to make a difference. We could use it. Here's a look at the drought monitor. About 70% of Texas considered in drought. So I know we didn't really cash in on the rain that we would like to see, but at least somebody else did. Some of our friends did, particularly East Texas here and right along the Louisiana border and along parts of the coast closer to Houston. So at least some people got a little bit of rain to put just a little dent in their drought. As for rain chances going forward, nothing significant at this point, but with a weak cold front and little upper level disturbance Thursday night, we could have a few more hit or miss showers, but nothing to get too excited for, at least at this point. So we'll just keep you updated. But right now, nothing that would be very significant in the foreseeable future. Let's talk temperatures. Cloudy and 53 locally. Dew point of 49, by the way. No big changes in humidity or dew points in the days ahead. But you look off to the west, we had some sunshine, several hours of sunshine today, and that made a big difference. Del Rio right now at 69 degrees. Uvalde 62, Carrizo Springs at 63. Meanwhile, under the clouds, of course, keeping you in the shade, we're down in the lower 50s. So Gonzales and San Antonio both at 53 right now. This is what we're expecting tomorrow morning. Some 30s out west. Uvalde 36, Eagle Pass about 39, Kerrville 37, closer to the low 40s, I think, here in San Antonio. And then by the afternoon, a lot of sunshine again out west, well into the 70s along the Rio Grande. Locally, it's going to take us a little while to break free from the fog, so our temperatures will be mostly in the low to mid 60s. We're thinking about 62 locally, light northeasterly breeze, and mostly this week highs in the mid 50s. Next freeze would be Friday night at 30.
All right, Adam, thank you.
All right, usually you have a homestand, you think it's a chance to get things right.
Not always with the Spurs, so now they're going to be on the road, and we're hoping it's a little better.
It's a very short road trip, but nonetheless, it is a road trip against the worst team in the West. So this is a game they should win, because especially after they went just 2-5 in 7 straight games in the AT&T Center. When we come back, we'll show you their latest loss that was to Philly last night. And Dan Quinn continues his coaching vacancy interview tour coming up. San Antonio Spurs only managed to grab 2 wins in their 7-game homestand before heading out for a 1-game road trip to Houston today, where they will face the Rockets tomorrow. As it turns out, one of those 5 losses at home was to the Rockets, and last night against the Philadelphia 76ers, even though the Spurs were in that game up until the bitter end. Coming out back-to-back triple-doubles, DeJounte Murray almost had another. Murray with a jumper to keep pace with the Sixers, down 29-23 after 1. In the second quarter, Joel Embiid helps expand that Sixers lead to 8 with the turnaround jumper. It would be 59-47 Philly at the half. Starting in the third quarter, the Spurs start to fight back. Devin Vassell with a jumper to keep the Sixers lead at single digits going into the fourth. That's when Keldon Johnson finds Jakob Poeltl for the easy 2. It's a 5-point game with 6 minutes left. Poeltl with 25 points, 10 rebounds last night. Under a minute left, Derek White forces a turnover. DeJounte Murray picks up the loose ball, takes it the distance. Spurs down 2 with 33 seconds left. Murray with 19 points, 12 assists, 9 rebounds. But Embiid draws a foul, makes his free throws to finish with the game-high 38 and the 115-109 victory.
I think the energy in the locker room in general is a little bit down right now because we really wanted to win that game. Felt like we had a chance down the stretch. We kind of came back, but it just wasn't enough. And yeah, that hurts because I know we got a lot of guys in that locker room that want to win. So I think we just gotta get over that, move on, and get to the next game.
All right, tip-off tomorrow night in Houston will be at 7 p.m.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn's head coaching interview tour continues with a stop with the New York Football Giants today. Quinn, who happens to be a New Jersey native, is already interviewed with the Denver Broncos, where he's one of 3 candidates left for that job to go with the Vikings, the Dolphins, and the Bears. Quinn, who guided the Atlanta Falcons to the Super Bowl as a head coach in 2016, is credited with turning the Dallas D around to lead the league in takeaways this season. The top 3 candidates for the vacant head coaching job for the Houston Texans are believed to be fired Miami head coach Brian Flores, who could help develop Davis Mills at quarterback, with the future of Deshaun Watson playing in Houston again very doubtful. Jared Mayo is also considered to be a top candidate. He's a linebackers coach for the Patriots, who's also interviewing with the Raiders, as well as Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels. And coming up at 6 o'clock, what a weekend of playoffs for the NFL. That was crazy good.
I don't remember, there's maybe 2-3 good games, not all of them.
Every single one.
Yeah.
And went down to the wire.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Greg.
Can't wait to hear that. We'll be right back after this.
Morning fog tomorrow in the low 40s, then by the afternoon we'll have some 60s, but along the Rio Grande you'll be in the 70s because of extra sunshine. Next chance of rain is a slight chance, 30%. That's Thursday night. But look at most of the week. Highs in the mid-50s, so running a little below average.
All right, Adam, thank you. Now, thank you for watching the news at 5.
World News up next. We'll see you back here at 6.
See ya.